Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Boss, you're in trouble. Real trouble.
What are you talking about?
The railway. They've changed their plans. They're not going to want all that land you've been buying up.
Where'd you hear that?
In Santa Fe. I had a few drinks to one of the railroad surveying crews. They let it slip. Some of the big bosses are afraid that the Rio Grande might flood and wash out the roadbed.
Ah, maybe they're just talking.
I saw the map with the new right-of-way marked out. Now they're not going anywhere near the river.
Oh, my plan's knocked into a cocked hat.
Maybe you could turn all that land you've been buying up into a ranch or a farm, maybe.
I came west to make money, not to become a rancher or a farmer. That map you saw, you remember the new right-of-way the railroad's to follow?
Yeah, they plan to cross the Bartholomew ranch.
Tom Tabor's place, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You think Tabor knows anything about this yet?
I don't see how he could. I left Santa Fe as soon as I heard, and I didn't waste any time getting here.
Well, maybe then there's still a chance. You wait here.
Well, where are you going?
To see Tabor.
And curtains sure do dress up a room, don't they? I sent clear to St. Louis for 'em. Catalog said they was the latest Eastern fashion.
Well, they look very nice, Mr. Tabor, but as I was saying before,
I'm sure glad that you like 'em. You know, I did this whole room over. Did you notice it? Gosh, new paint and everything. Nothing's too good for my sister Agatha.
Well, I'm sure she'll be very pleased, but...
Well, I hope she is. Look at her. This is going to be her first trip out west. I'm just dying to see her. Do you know that it's been 10? No, sir, by golly, it's been over 12 years since I saw her last. Look at the dust on this desk. Man, she wouldn't like that at all.
About that offer for your ranch, Mr. Tabor,
There's just no use. I wouldn't be interested in selling the Bartholomew.
I think you're making a serious mistake.
Well, perhaps I am, but after all, I built this place up from practically nothing. Gee, this has been my home for over 20 years. Oh, may sound silly to you, but this place has just kind of become a part of me. No, sir, Mr. Stacy, I just couldn't think of selling the Bartholomew at any price. Golly, 2 o'clock. In 3 more hours, Aggie'll be arriving in town.
Oh, she's coming in on the evening stage?
Yes, sir, and I'm going to be there waiting for her.
I wish you'd reconsider.
Just no use. I wouldn't want to sell the Bartholomew.
Well, can't blame you for trying.
Not at all, and thank you for the offer. And you come out again, will you?
Yes, sir, I will.
All right, sir, thank you. Probably see you in town tonight.
Wonder they call this rolling country. Driver! Do you have to go this fast?
I'm not going this fast because I want to. My brake won't work.
And even keep their equipment in good order.
Whoa!
This campsite you mentioned, is it near here?
It's not far now, Kemo Sabe. It's right by stream. Plenty grass for Silver and Scout. It's a fine place to make camp.
Tonto, listen.
Me here, Kemo Sabe. Sound like horses running.
Down there on the road.
Stagecoach. Horses run plenty fast.
Yes, much too fast for safety. Must be a runaway. Come on.
Much obliged for stopping the horses. But don't either one of you start reaching for a gun.
We're not outlaws.
Then why are you wearing that mask?
I have my personal reasons. Don't you think we should see about your passenger?
Well, I guess so. But I'm warning you. Don't try nothing.
We'll remember.
Is she all right?
I believe she's just fainted. Tonto, bring one of the canteens.
Well, if you two are hold-up men, you're sure the strangest ones I ever run into.
Here, canteen, Kemo Sabe.
Thanks, Tonto.
I'm quite all right now, young man.
Oh?
Driver, put that silly gun away before someone gets hurt.
But, ma'am, they're liable to try to...
If they were going to hold us up, they'd have done it long before this. Now, put that gun away.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see if I can fix the brake.
Me help you.
Thanks, Injun.
My name is Agatha Tabor. What's yours?
My name is unimportant at the moment.
Well, that stands to reason. If you wanted people to know who you are, you wouldn't be wearing a mask. Something amuses you, young man?
Well, Miss Tabor, you did make a remarkably fast recovery.
Of course I did. You're obviously not an outlaw. Wasn't any reason for me to stay fainted. I'm not a fainting type woman, young man. But there are certain situations when a good feint can save a woman a heap of trouble.
You're a very resourceful woman, ma'am.
And a smart one, too, young man.
Brake's fixed now, Kemo Sabe.
It should be safe to go on now, Miss Tabor.
If either of you are near my brother's ranch, the Bartee, please stop.
Thank you. Goodbye, ma'am. All right, driver. Let her roll.
Indeed, he come too plenty fast, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto. She certainly did. Let's get mounted.
How'd you make out?
I didn't. Tabor won't even think of selling.
Well, what are you going to do, boss?
Matt, I'm going to fix it so I become the new owner of the Bartee Ranch.
But you just said...
I know what I said. Only Tabor isn't going to know anything about the sale.
How are you going to do that?
I'm going to forge a deed to the Bartee Ranch to me. I'll explain the details later. Right now, we got to move fast. Tabor's coming into town to meet his sister, and that's one thing I don't want to have happen. Miss Tabor?
Yes.
I'm Henry Stacy. I handle some of your brother's legal matters. He told me you were coming today.
How do you do? Have you seen my brother? He was to meet me.
No, I haven't, but I'm sure you'll be along shortly. You must be tired from your trip. My office is just across the street. You could wait for your brother there to be more comfortable.
Thank you, Mr. Stacy.
Oh, is this your luggage?
Yes.
Oh, we can watch for Tom from my office window. You certainly had a full day of it, Miss Tabor. A runaway stagecoach and a meeting with that masked man and Indian. Wonder who they are. Outlaws, most probably.
No, I don't think so. They didn't try to hold us up, and they could have very easily. Wonder what's keeping Tom. Being late like this isn't like him.
Oh, would you excuse me a moment, Miss Tabor?
Of course.
How did it go?
I put 2 bullets in him.
Good. Wait until dark. And put this signed copy of the deed to the Bartee in Tabor's desk at his ranch. I'll keep the original to present at the proper time. I've dated them as of 3 days ago when Tabor was in town.
Well, what about Tabor's signatures?
They're as perfect as if Tabor himself signed them. I've also included a sales agreement for Tabor's cattle at a price that will be quite profitable for us.
Say that's all right.
Be seen around town till it's dark, and then get out to the bar tea. I'll keep Tabor's sister in town.
Why do you want these papers found at the Tabor place?
Well, if signed copies of these papers are found on Tabor's own desk at his ranch, who'll think to question them?
Yeah. Say, you sure have everything figured out.
No one was ever caught because he was too careful. Stop by my office after you planted the papers.
Right.
Glad to have been able to help you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I do hope my being here hasn't kept you from your work, Mr. Stacy.
No, of course not. Miss Tabor, my housekeeper is a wonderful cook, and I'd be very pleased if you'd have dinner with me. I'll tell the express agent where we're going, and when Tom arrives, he can join us.
I feel I'm imposing.
Oh, not at all. It's my pleasure.
Well, thank you. I accept.
Fine.
This place me told you about, Kemo Sabe. Plenty grass for Silver and Scout.
You're right, Tonto. This is a fine place for us to make camp.
You want me go to town for supplies?
No, tomorrow will be time enough for that.
Over here, Kemo Sabe.
He's been shot. He's badly hurt.
Me get bandage from saddlebag. Him hurt plenty bad, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto. He needs medical attention.
Me know doctor who own ranch near here. Me go get him.
No, to save time, we'll use the buggy and take him to the doctor.
Just a minute. I'm coming. Yes?
Man shot. Him need your help.
Bring him in. Put him over there on the couch. How did... You're masked. Is this some kind of a trick?
Despite the mask, I'm not an outlaw, Doctor.
Tom.
Do you know this man?
Yes. He owns a ranch near here. My instrument bag over there. Would you bring it, please? He'll be more comfortable in here.
Will him be all right?
Can't tell for sure yet. But if it hadn't been for you and your friend, Tom would be sure enough dead right now.
Do you know whether Tom had any enemies? Anyone who would have reason to do this?
I've known him for a good many years. And I'd say he didn't have an enemy in the world.
Well, robbery certainly wasn't the motive. He has over $80 in his wallet.
Of all days for this to happen.
Was this some kind of a special day?
For Tom it is. He's been planning and preparing for it for weeks. His sister was to arrive from the east today.
Is Tom's last name Tabor?
Why, yes. How did you know?
We met his sister earlier today.
And that lady and Coach Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. Do you know where we could find Miss Tabor?
Well, she might have gone directly to Tom's ranch, or she may have stayed in town and waited for him there.
Tonto, will I ride to the Tabor ranch and see if Miss Tabor is there? I'd like you to go into town and get the sheriff. If Miss Tabor is in town, tell her what's happened.
Let me do that.
Good. Now, Doctor, if you'll tell me how to find the Tabor ranch.
Our housekeeper is a very fine cook, Mr. Stacy. Thank you very much for dinner.
It's my pleasure. You know, we could have waited at my house for your brother.
No, he said he'd meet me in town.
Well, just as you say.
Can't understand it at all. It isn't like my brother. He's usually so prompt.
Oh, I see one of my employees. Would you excuse me, please?
Of course.
Boss,
Tabor's sister's in my office.
the papers are in Tabor's desk.
Good. I'm glad you've had time to stop by. I want you to meet Miss Tabor, Tom's sister. Miss Tabor, this is Mr. Corson. Mr. Corson's going to be my new foreman and run the bar tea for me.
Run the bar tea for you? I don't believe I quite understand, Mr. Stacy.
Well, I bought your brother's ranch and cattle, oh, let's see, 3 days ago. I have the signed papers right here.
I never thought Tom would sell the bar tea.
Well, I made an offer and your brother accepted. Perhaps I shouldn't have said anything. Your brother might have wanted to surprise you with the news himself.
Can't imagine why he wanted to sell. He always spoke of the ranch as though it were a part of him. I must ask him about it when I see him. Perhaps that's Tom now.
Yes, perhaps it is. Oh, hello, Sheriff.
Mr. Stacy, is Miss Tabor here?
Yes, she is. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. Miss Tabor?
Yes.
If what this Indian has told me is true, your brother has been hurt.
What's happened to Tom?
He was shot.
He's not...
Him not dead, but him hurt plenty bad.
Where's Tom now?
The Indian here says he's at Doc Gutwall's.
I must go to him.
I'll take you. My buggy's right out in front.
Thank you, Mr. Stacy.
I'll be right there. I just want to put out the lamp. You bungling fool. I've already told Tom's sister I've already bought the bar tea. If Tabor's alive to deny it, we're in real trouble.
What are we going to do, boss?
You've got to get out to Doc Gutwall's and make sure that Tabor is dead by the time we get there.
I won't miss this time.
You can't use your gun. You've got to make it look like an accident.
An accident?
Don't you think enough people will be wondering about it after one shooting?
Yeah, but how am I going to make it look like an accident?
A lamp could overturn.
What?
A lamp could overturn.
Yeah.
Go on, get out, quick.
Did you find Tom's sister?
No, she wasn't at the ranch. How's Tom?
No change. He's still unconscious.
What do you make of this, Doctor?
A signed copy of a deed to the bar tea. And one of a sales agreement for Tom's cattle. Both made out to Henry Stacy. I never thought Tom would sell out and leave his ranch. Say, where did you get these papers?
In Tom's desk at his ranch. Doctor, there's something strange about these documents.
Huh?
Do you have any thin tracing paper?
Yes. Yes, I think so. In my desk.
Well, I'll be darned. Strange, isn't it? The two signatures should be exactly alike. Doctor, do you smell kerosene?
Why, yes.
On your feet. Hurry it up. What about the fire?
It's out. I smothered it with the blanket.
We'll take our visitor back to the house and see what he has to say. Now get moving. What's going on here?
Put away your gun, Sheriff. The masked man is a friend. He just prevented a murder.
My brother. Mr. Corson.
This man tried to kill your brother, ma'am.
What?
But thanks to the masked man, Tom's all right. He just regained consciousness if you'd care to see him.
Thank heaven he's all right. And as soon as possible, I want to know why he sold the Barty ranch to Mr. Stacy.
Tom sell his ranch? I don't believe it.
Mr. Stacy has the original papers in his pocket. He showed them to me.
Mr. Stacy, I'd like to see those documents.
Don't anyone move.
So you did forge those papers?
Yes, for all the good it'll do you. Now drop your guns, all of you, unless you want something to happen to Miss Tabor.
What is the meaning of this?
Quiet! Drop your guns, I said. Sure, I'm glad to see you, boss. You certainly made a mess of everything. You, Indian, untie him.
Better do as he says, Tonto.
Will someone tell me what this is all about?
I think I can, Sheriff. These two men wanted possession of the Barty ranch and were ready to commit murder to get it.
Maybe we lost the ranch, masked man, but you're not going to put us in jail. Matt and I are getting out of here, and we're taking Miss Tabor with us as a hostage. And if you ever expect to see her alive again, don't try to stop us.
You won't get away with it, Mr. Stacy.
It looks as though he will, Miss Tabor. You'd better do as he says.
Now, you're being smart.
Well, it's only common sense, Stacy. In a situation like this, I'm sure Miss Tabor knows the right thing to do. You see, when she first met me, she thought I was a bandit. She knew the right thing to do then, and I'm sure she knows the right thing to do now.
Drop it, Stacy.
Move.
Are you all right, Miss Tabor?
Yes.
Then you didn't really faint?
Of course not. I'm not a fainting woman. But I'm certainly getting a lot of practice pretending.
So with me out of the way and this forged deed, that Stacy'd be the owner of the Barty ranch.
That's right, Mr. Tabor. And here's the original we found in Stacy's pocket.
But how'd you know this was a forged deed? The signature looks the same as mine.
The signature is yours, sir. The trouble is, it's exactly the same way as on the cattle sales agreement. No one signs their name exactly the same way every time.
In other words, Tom, the signatures are too perfect.
Stacy probably had some legal paper you'd signed in the past. Whenever your signature was required, he simply traced your name.
Well, I'll be darned.
Well, Tonto and I must be on our way. Adios, friends.
Sure to thank you, boys.
You know, when a person meets a man like that, you just have to believe in the future of the West.
You're not the first one that said that, Aggie. You know, he's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
One clear and sunny afternoon, the eastbound stage out of Puente, transporting $15,000 in gold bullion, wheeled peacefully across the silent Texas plains. Nearby, the Lone Ranger and Tonto roamed the countryside in their never-ending crusade to bring law and order to the West.
Over there, Kemo Sabe.
Come on, Silver!
Hurry it up, somebody's coming.
tracks end here, Kemo Sabe.
They took to the stream to throw us off. What do you think, Tonto?
We try downstream.
You give him the slip?
Yeah. I had to listen to you. It'll be a breeze, he said, just like opening a can of beans.
Shut up. How'd I know those strong boxes were burglar-proof?
You might have checked. And then to top it all off, that masked rider and the Indian had to horn in. Where'd they come from?
Who knows? 2 months of planning I invested in this job. When I think of the haul we could have made, there's got to be a way. No strong box is gonna stop me.
You know, Blaze, you might go to school and learn how to be a locksmith.
Oh, shut up. I think the coast is clear now. Time we were heading back to Risco.
What about the stagecoach?
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Me report to Sheriff in Puente like you say, Kemo Sabe. Him keep sharp lookout for men who try to rob stage.
Good, Tonto. I could find no trace of the outlaws' trail. It's getting dark. We better start again in the morning.
On the way back, me stop at Mission. Letter come for you. Look important.
Man, it's from the governor.
Him need your help again?
It's about Clay Trowbridge, the son of an old friend of the governor who was accused of murdering a rancher. There's a $1,000 reward poster out for him, dead or alive. It seems Trowbridge was working as a skilled locksmith at the time of the killing. After he was captured, there was talk of lynching him. So he broke jail and fled.
Him go into hiding?
Yes, but a few weeks ago, Sheriff Harkness of Buckland County caught the real killer. He's been tried and convicted.
Trowbridge not guilty then?
No, but unfortunately, he doesn't know he's been cleared. The sheriff's tried to recall the wanted posters, but many are still up.
That bad. Him might be killed for reward money.
Yes, or forced to become a real outlaw. If that happens, Tonto, there's no telling how many innocent people might become his victims.
And what we do, Kemo Sabe?
We look for Clay Trowbridge.
What about 2 outlaws who tried to hold up stagecoach?
We'll go after the outlaws later. The Trowbridge case is more urgent. The governor addressed this letter to Trowbridge, clearing him of the murder charge. It's up to us to find him and see that he gets this letter.
Now, where we look for Trowbridge, Kemo Sabe?
According to the governor, there's a good possibility he may have sought refuge in Risco.
Risco? We hear plenty bad things about that place. Only outlaws live there.
I know it, Tonto. That's all the more reason for us to get to Clay Trowbridge as soon as we can.
That'd be very dangerous, Kemo Sabe.
Well, Tonto, we have never run away from danger before, have we?
Not Silver either. Already him raring to go.
Risco, a small island in the Rio Grande River, was claimed by both the United States and Mexico, and hence, at least until the settlement of their dispute, was under the jurisdiction of neither. And it was to this place that Clay Trowbridge had come, seeking asylum from the hand of injustice.
What's the idea? Give that back.
Think you're man enough to make me?
Now, I don't think I'd do that if I were you, Trowbridge.
What happened to your hardware, Trowbridge?
None of your business.
He pawned it. Just like he's been pawning everything he owns since he reached Risco.
You don't mean to tell me he's busted?
Only thing he's got left is the fillings in his teeth.
Think of that, and such a fine young fella, too.
What do you want?
Busted. Now, ain't that ironic? And him worth $1,000 on the hoof.
How much is that a pound, Blaze?
I don't know, I'm pretty bad at arithmetic, but it sure beats rustling prices, though.
You two have got any ideas about collecting that reward?
Say, now, we could do that, couldn't we?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah? Well, you don't rope this steer without a scratch.
Oh, now, Trowbridge, we ain't particular. Dead or alive, it says on the circular. Anyway, I didn't say we was gonna turn you in. I only said we could.
Well, then what?
Now, come along with us, chum, and I'll tell you what. I guess I don't have to tell you how easy it'd be for us to take you to Texas and turn you over to the marshal and collect ourselves that $1,000.
You said you weren't going to do that.
Not unless we have to. That's up to you.
What do you mean?
He means that if you're smart, there's a way we can all get rich and nobody goes to jail.
6 months ago, the Southwest Stage Lines did away with the old strong boxes they used to carry on top of the coaches, and they built new ones inside, under the seats. Now, it's practically impossible to rob these boxes. You can't break them open, and you can't hardly cart them away.
Not unless you want to steal the whole coach.
Yeah. And you can't unlock them, because they keep the keys at the stations. Now, it's on account of this, chum, that me and Stack are counting you in.
Me?
Why, sure. Don't it say on the circular that you used to work as a locksmith for the stage lines?
Well, sure, but...
Well, then, you could make us some keys that would fit those locks. It's simple. All you gotta do is ride with me and Stack, carrying the key you're gonna make in a set of files. After we stop the coach, you get inside and do a quick job of unlocking the box.
No, you can count me out. You got the wrong customer. I'm no owl hoot.
No?
No, I never committed that murder, and I've never broken any law.
Why, sure. Everybody in Risco's innocent. We know that. Ain't that right, Stack? Until they're hung. Look, Trowbridge, we believe you, but what good is that? In the eyes of the law, you're guilty.
And look at you. You're broke, a fugitive. You gotta eat, don't
and
you?
there's Rosita. That singer at the Golden Nugget. You gotta consider her, you know.
What about Rosita?
Well, she's taken a shine to you. But I can't see her throwing in with a guy who's on his uppers. Can you, Stack?
Rosita's not that kind of a girl. She knows the fix I'm in. She doesn't care.
Yeah, but she's human, ain't she? She don't care now, but after the honeymoon's over.
Why don't you smarten up? Don't be a chump.
In my whole life, I never did anything dishonest. Not once.
And look what it's got you.
You will not do this thing, Clay. Clay, please, you mustn't. To help these bandits is a terrible thing.
I came all the way from New England, full of ambition, rosy dreams, big ideas. Go west, they told me. It's a land of opportunity. Opportunity for what? What's it brought me?
It's brought you me.
And what have I to bring to you? Nothing. I come with empty hands.
Clean hands, querido mío. The hands of the only honest man in Risco.
Fine distinction for my epitaph. What's the future of an honest man in a community of thieves? I'm caught in the middle. Mr. In-Between, that's me.
It will turn out all right. You must be patient. Something will happen.
Only if I make it happen. Blaze was right. Why be honest and broke? That's for fools.
Querido mío.
There won't be any slip-ups, Rosita. Not the way Blaze has it planned. It's simple. We wait behind Dead Man's Rock. You know, near the dry lake. There we waylay the eastbound stage out of Puente. And with my share of the profits, we can go away together and start in fresh.
Run away, you mean? Oh, Clay, I'm so sick of running. I hadn't told you this before, Chiquitito. But I, too, am a fugitive. Wanted by your American constabulary for shooting a man in Puente.
You?
I only wound him. A drunken pig, he insult me. It is a thing of honor, you understand. But your gringo law is strict in such matters.
I'm well acquainted with the gringo law.
Laws are made by men, querido. Mistakes can happen. If it is simply a question of money, I have a little put aside.
That settles it.
Clay!
What kind of a man takes money from a woman?
Is it better to steal?
It's no use, Rosita. My mind's made up.
Clay, no! Clay, you mustn't!
Here it is, Tonto, the Rio Grande. You see that shallow ford and sandbar? The connecting link to Risco.
What we do now, Kemo Sabe?
Well, we'll wait here. It's unwise for us to go into Risco unless we absolutely have to. I'd say at least half the population over there would like to get a shot at me.
We're not even sure Clay Trowbridge is in Risco.
No, but it's my hunch he is. Tonto, there are few people on the island the law doesn't want. The outlaws employ them as runners to go back and forth on errands. We camp over there and wait here. Perhaps a runner will come by our way and we can question him. If no one comes, tomorrow I'll ride into Risco.
Kemo Sabe.
Ain't you finished yet?
It's no use.
What do you mean it's no use?
I mean, I'm not going through with it, Blaze. I've changed my mind.
Listen, Trowbridge, I give the orders around here.
Hey, Blaze.
What do you want?
I just saw Rosita get a horse and head for stateside.
How come?
You tell me. She never left town before, and everybody knows the minute she sets foot in America, there's a warrant for her arrest.
She must have had a mighty important reason for going.
Maybe she and Trowbridge are planning a double cross.
Yeah, I think he's trying to weasel out.
I'll take care of it.
No. I got a better idea. Trowbridge don't know it yet, but he and Rosita have played right into our hands. You go on after Rosita and stop her. What's the matter? Ain't you finished with that key yet? We haven't got much time.
I told you, Blaze.
I know what you told me, but now I'm telling you, you're gonna do exactly as I say. If you ever want to see Rosita again alive.
Rosita? Where is she? What have you done to her? If you harmed her...
Take your hands off me, Buster. Don't worry about Rosita. She's all right. We just got her mothballed away, that's all. And she stays put until you've finished your bit. Remember that. So you better get back to work. Now you're being more reasonable.
Now somebody come from Risco.
Come on, Tonto.
Let me go. I have no money.
Don't let my mask fool you. We're not outlaws.
Then why you stop me?
We saw you cross over from Risco. There may be a man there we're looking for. You might know him. Clay Trowbridge.
Clay? What you want with Clay?
We have proof of his innocence. A letter of full pardon from the governor.
A pardon? Oh, senor, if this is a trick...
This should convince you it's no trick, senorita.
Oh, senor, if you knew how happy this letter has made me. What happens to me, I do not care. I am willing to surrender now and accept my punishment. But Clay... Clay...
What about Clay?
We must stop him before it is too late.
Before it's too late? What do you mean?
He is a bitter man, senor. He has agreed to engage in a holdup.
Easy, senorita.
Those robbers stack in place. Tomorrow they will. Mañana.
What about tomorrow? Tell me.
They...
Take it easy. Now, don't try to talk. I'll get you to the doctor in Puente.
Where's Trowbridge?
He's out getting a horse for the job. What about Rosita?
She's taken care of, and just in the nick of time, too. You remember that masked character in The Indian?
You mean those two hombres who spoiled the holdup?
Yeah, well, she was talking to them when I plugged her.
You finished her off?
Sure. The next singing she does will be to the tune of a harp. I had a hard time shaking that Indian. He trailed me all the way back to the island, but then I think...
Hello, Clay. Well, did you get a horse?
How's Rosita? She's all right, isn't she? You promised.
Oh, yeah, sure. She's fine. Ain't that right, Snake?
Yeah, she's fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to see her.
But I do mind. You'll see her after the holdup. It's getting late now. I think it's time we turned in. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Listen, Trowbridge. You ain't in any position to argue.
It's a good thing you got her here as quickly as you did. Another 20 minutes, we'd have lost her for certain.
She's going to be all right, isn't she, Doctor?
Well, it's hard to say in cases like this. It's up to Dame Nature, and she can't be hurried. Why? Any particular urgency?
Yes. When she lost consciousness, she was trying to tell me something. It's important I find out what that something is while there's still time to act.
What's eating you?
Nothing, I was only...
Listen, if you've got any ideas about backing out now, forget them.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. She's running a dangerously high fever, and her heartbeat is very, very weak.
Clay, chiquitito. Clay, querido mío.
Delirious, the fever.
Isn't there anything you can do, Doctor?
Well, I need some medicine, but the closest supply is in the Twin Rocks, and that's nearly a day's ride.
And if you don't get it?
I don't know. She is definitely in a bad condition.
Doctor, write out the prescription. Tonto will go for it.
What about Trowbridge, Kemo Sabe?
I'll head for Risco and see what I can find out.
Texas, plenty big country. Tracking down one holdup like looking for a needle in a haystack.
It isn't only the holdup I'm thinking of, Tonto. We've got to stop an innocent man from turning to a life of crime.
Here's a prescription. Hurry.
You not worry. Me be back in time.
Your Indian friend's right, you know. Texas is a big place, and there's no telling where that holdup's scheduled.
No, querido. No, you the malo hombres. Muy malo hombres. Robó el coche. La tarde.
You savvy that lingo?
La roca del hombre muerto. La roca del hombre muerto.
A rock of the dead man. Dead man's rock.
What?
She's talking about a stage holdup. This morning, bad men are going to rob a stagecoach at Dead Man's Rock. She's urging Clay not to help them. But what stage? That's the question.
Well, the only stage out this morning is the eastbound from Puente.
What time does it leave town?
Well, if my watch is the right time, they left town an hour ago.
In that case, I'll have to hurry. I can just about make it to Dead Man's Rock.
Here she comes.
Stoic, I'm running this show.
Get down from there. Hurry up.
Come on, get inside and open that box. Come on, hurry it up. We ain't got all day.
It's no use, Blaze. I can't open it.
Blaze, we got company. Get his gun. Keep him covered.
am so happy, Clay.
Things not happy for Blaze and Stack.
Those two are out of circulation for good.
And Risco, too. At least it soon will be. For the United States have finally conceded proprietorship to Mexico. And Mexico is sending in a detachment of troops to clean out that rat hole.
I'm glad to hear it, sir. You understand, Senorita, you'll still have to stand trial for the old charge that hangs over you. But under the circumstances, perhaps the judge will suspend your sentence.
We are not worried. Hey, querido mío.
Well, Clay, I don't think you'll have any more trouble. But just to be on the safe side, I think you'd better keep this letter on your person, at least until the reward posters have been taken down. And I hope you appreciate what a wonderful girl you have. Adios, friends. Come on, Tonto.
He never even told us his name.
It's here in this letter from the governor. He's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
You talked to Marshal Beetson, Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. There's been another holdup this time, near the town of Greasewood.
That makes 6 in 1 month. We go to Greasewood?
No, I think we'd better head for Mesa Junction.
But there are no holdups near Mesa Junction.
That's right, Tonto. But every stage that's been robbed either has been on its way to Mesa Junction or had passed through it.
You think maybe bandits have headquarters there?
That I don't know. I suspect someone in town is giving them information.
Bandits only rob stages with valuable cargo.
Beetson says they've avoided every trap he's set for them.
Them plenty clever.
They're clever, all right. We've got to stop them before they bankrupt every business in this territory. Let's get mounted.
Morning, Julie.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Here, let me help you with your thing.
I can manage, thank you.
Julie, I'm sorry about last night. I didn't mean those things I said.
Didn't you?
I was angry because you broke our date and, well, when I found out you were having dinner with Doug Stewart,
You jumped to conclusions. And you thought I was interested in Mr. Stewart because he's a banker and the richest man in town.
I didn't say that, Julie.
But you thought it.
No, I didn't.
Well, for your information, I've been commissioned to paint his portrait.
No fooling.
Yes.
Gosh, I must have sounded like an idiot.
Well, is this a confession or an apology?
Both, I guess. Are you still angry with me?
I guess I'm too happy to be angry with anybody this morning. This portrait means I'll earn enough money that I can go on with my tour.
You mean you're leaving Mesa Junction?
Well, I've been here a month already. And, Will, I want to paint this whole wonderful West for all the world to see. Say, I'd better be getting on my horse and get out to Scorpion Rock before the light fails.
Let me go with you.
Now, I've told you a dozen times, I can't paint when somebody's watching me.
I wouldn't be in the way.
Yes, you will. I'll be back by lunch and I'll see you then.
You mean you'll have lunch with me?
Well, I just invited myself, didn't I?
You're late.
I couldn't make it earlier, Hack, but I've got news.
Another gold shipment?
Better than that. I had dinner with the town banker last night. He let slip they're expecting a money shipment today, and there won't even be a guard on the stage.
Yeah, great. A couple more jobs like the last two, and we'll be set for life.
This is the last job we'll pull around here.
Something go wrong?
I just don't like to crowd my luck, that's all.
Heck, Julie, what are you worried about? You got Sheriff Harrington eating out of your hand.
There's lots of sheriffs and lots of towns. We'll lie low awake, and then we'll move on.
Well, what about the gold and stuff we've hidden here on Blue Mountain?
We'll divide it before we leave. You better get going. The stage goes through Summit Pass in about 15 minutes.
When will we see you?
I'll be at the hideout later this week. If anything goes wrong this morning, I'll be at Scorpion Rock, about 5 miles east of here.
They had a schedule.
We can overtake him. Come on.
Don't shoot. I've stopped.
Check the passengers.
I haven't got any passengers.
Then toss down that strong box and be quick about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now come on down yourself.
Oh, what are you going to do to me?
Just do as I say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, boy.
Now turn around.
Listen, you ain't got no call to do anything.
I said turn around.
I gave you all of this.
Candy from a kid.
Only this stuff's a lot sweeter than candy.
Easy, fella. Easy.
What happened?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, I think they slugged me, 'cause well, you're too late, mister. Them other road agents took the money.
We not outlaws.
Well, they ain't wearing a mask.
That doesn't mean I'm an outlaw. Suppose you tell us what happened.
As if you didn't know. Them two masked pals of yours held me up in Summit Pass, and they took the money shipment.
Summit Pass only a few miles back, Kemo Sabe.
You think you can drive the stagecoach into town?
I guess so.
All right. We'll backtrack you and try to pick up the outlaw's trail.
You mean you're going after him?
Yes. Tell the sheriff in Mesa Junction we'll get in touch with him later. Adios. This looks like the place, Tonto. One of the horses lost a shoe.
Then dragged something heavy back that way.
Let's take a look. Empty, of course.
And box that big whole lot of money.
Let's try to catch up with them.
faint picture.
Maybe she saw the outlaws. From here you can see the whole valley.
We ask?
Right.
Stay where you are.
Don't let my mask alarm you. We're not bandits.
I don't care who you are. Don't come any closer.
We only want to ask a question.
Well, what is it?
2 men robbed the stage about an hour ago.
Not again.
We lost their trail at the river. I thought perhaps you might have seen them.
No, I haven't seen anybody at all.
Have you been here at Scorpion Rock all morning, miss?
Since 8 o'clock. I have to be early because the afternoon light flattens the shadows.
And you came directly from town?
Yes, why?
But your horse have...
That's all right, Tonto. Thank you very much, Miss,
Gregory. Julia Gregory.
Perhaps we'll meet again. Adios.
Girl not tell truth. Her not come direct from Mesa Junction.
I know, Tonto, but I didn't want to put her on her guard.
Her horse have black mud on feet. Only red clay between here and town.
We'll pick up her trail, backtrack, and then find out where she's been. Let's go. Tonto, look at these footprints. She met 2 men up here on Blue Mountain, then doubled back to Scorpion Rock.
Kemo Sabe, that horse have 1 shoe missing. Prints like ones we find at holdup.
I think I know now how the outlaws get their information about the gold shipments.
Girl painter, tell them.
Yes, Tonto. I'll go talk to the sheriff. We'll take the back way so we won't attract attention. Sheriff, I'm not an outlaw.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you.
Say, aren't you the man that stopped the runaway stage?
That's right. Did the driver give you my message?
Sure, but I thought he was loco. Masked men don't usually operate on my side of the law.
My friend and I followed the bandits' trail to the river, but we lost their tracks.
Yeah. Same old story. I sent a posse out after him, but... well, this outfit's too smart.
Well, they weren't smart this time. Tell me, do you know a girl named Julie Gregory?
Did anything happen to Julie?
She's all right.
Every time she goes out alone to paint, I worry myself sick.
Does she go out often?
Almost every day. She's making a tour of the West, painting scenery and stuff like that.
You know Miss Gregory quite well, don't you?
I do. As a matter of fact, if I get up enough nerve, I'm going to ask her to marry me.
I see. That rather complicates matters.
What do you mean?
Well, Sheriff, I don't know how to tell you this, but...
What is it?
Well, I have reasons to believe Miss Gregory is mixed up with the crooks who've been pulling these holdups.
You're out of your mind.
I suspected you'd think so. She went to Blue Mountain this morning and...
She went to Scorpion Rock.
Yes, but first she met 2 men on Blue Mountain. The same 2 men who robbed the stagecoach.
Don't try to tell me that Julie's mixed up in anything crooked.
Well, Sheriff, I understand how you feel and...
Get out! Get out before I forget I'm an officer of the law.
All right. I hoped we could have worked together.
You see Sheriff Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. He's so much in love with Julie Gregory that he wouldn't listen to me.
A man in love only hear what he want to hear.
Somehow we have to make that woman give herself away and implicate the men she's working with.
We try fake gold shipment, maybe?
No, we'll need the sheriff's cooperation to do that.
That'd be hard to do.
Suppose we try to frighten her into doing something foolish.
What you want me to?
I want you to find the stagecoach driver. Get a complete description of the bandits.
But them wear masks.
Yes, but Find out what kind of clothes they were wearing. Anything that he can remember. Then buy me some old clothes. I'm going to put on a disguise. There she is, Tonto. Wait for me in the trees where I change clothes.
You be careful, Kemo Sabe.
Julie,
Yes.
I've got to see you.
Well, what on earth's the matter?
Are you in any kind of trouble?
Well, not that I know of.
Please, Julie, you can tell me.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm trying to tell you I'm in love with you. I want you to marry me.
Well, really, Will, this is hardly the time or place to discuss such things.
But, Julie...
Beg pardon, young lady.
Why don't you look where you're going?
I'm sorry, miss. Hope I didn't hurt you.
I'm quite all right.
Say, aren't you the young lady I saw up on Blue Mountain this morning?
Blue Mountain?
I'm afraid you have me mistaken with somebody else.
No, sirree. I wouldn't forget a pretty face as yours. I saw you up there talking to two men.
I'm afraid you've made a mistake.
No, ma'am. With these store-bought specs, I can see a mosquito at 400 yards. I saw you all righty. You were talking to two men. And the big one was wearing a black and red shirt. And the other one...
Will, for heaven's sake.
Look, old-timer, the lady says she wasn't on Blue Mountain, so let's not argue about it. Suppose you just run along and tend to your own business.
You mean you want me to leave?
That's the general idea.
Well, then why didn't you say so? Nothing I hate worse than a man that beats around the bush and don't say what he means.
Thanks.
Wait a minute.
Well, what is it?
Julie, you're hiding something.
Don't be absurd. Just because some crazy old man says he...
He's the second person to claim that you met two men on Blue Mountain this morning.
Somebody else says he saw me?
Yes.
Well, it must be another girl that looks like me, because I was at Scorpion Rock all morning.
Look, Julie, if it's a case of mistaken identity, we ought to clear it up. You see, those two men on Blue Mountain may be the two men that held up the stage.
Really, Will, I just don't understand you. One minute you tell me you love me, and the next minute you accuse me of...
I'm not accusing you of anything. What's the matter?
My watch. It's gone.
Were you wearing it?
Well, I had it on this morning. I could have lost it, but... That old man. I'll bet he took it when he pretended to bump into me.
Why, that old scoundrel. I'll bet that's what he did. Wait here.
How things go, Kemo Sabe?
Fine. I have a hunch Miss Gregory will be leaving town in a very few minutes.
Her horse tied behind hotel.
You'd better keep an eye on it. While I'm removing this disguise and putting on my clothes, we'll...
Get your hands up. Go on, raise your hands. You're under arrest.
What's first, Sheriff?
For stealing that lady's watch.
Well, I didn't steal anybody's watch.
Him not thief.
That's right.
I happen to think different. You two are going to jail.
To jail? Well, that's a fine kettle of fish. It just isn't right when a citizen around here has to be accused of taking...
You're not making noise.
Good work, Tonto. Get a rope and we'll tie him.
Your voice, you're not an old man.
That's right, Sheriff. I had to resort to trickery.
The masked man.
Here, rope and gag.
Good. All right, Sheriff, turn around. Sorry, Sheriff, but if I turn you loose, you'll ruin our whole plan. While I finish tying him and remove my disguise, you keep an eye on Miss Gregory.
Let me do that.
If she leaves before I join you, follow her and leave a mark at the crossroads.
Get your hands up, Injun. Draw your gun with your fingertips and let it drop. Now, ride up the trail ahead of me and don't try anything.
Julie, what's the idea?
Oh, we've got to get out of here.
What happened?
I was seen talking to you this morning, and Harrington's getting suspicious.
Who's the engine?
I don't know. He was following me. I ran into him earlier riding with a masked man.
A masked man?
Wait a minute. Is your name Tonto?
What difference does it make?
It might make plenty. Was this masked man riding a big white stallion?
Yes, why?
Then he must have been the Lone Ranger.
Huh?
We've got to get out of here fast. Get rid of those horses, then stand guard on the trail while Julie and I load the stuff.
All right, but hurry it up, huh?
Go on.
Open the box and load the saddlebags.
All right. Thanks, Julie. He's out cold. Maybe we ought to tie him up.
There's not enough time. Lock him in the closet.
Throw your guns easy, mister. You're covered. Now get inside. Look what I've got.
The masked man.
Yeah, he walked right into it.
Well, now, this is real cozy.
What have you done to my friend?
You mean the engine?
If you've harmed him...
Don't worry, we've taken care of him. And now we're going to take care of you.
What do you intend to do with him?
There's only one thing we can do. We'll have to kill him.
No.
Act's right, Julie.
Are you willing to add murder to your list of crimes?
Well, I guess we have no other choice. Go ahead.
This is going to be a pleasure.
Nice going, Tonto. As soon as we tie you, we're taking you to the sheriff.
Give me a gun. You, get up. Stand beside girl.
I let Julie make such a complete fool out of me. I even thought I was in love with her.
Don't take it so hard, Will.
Oh, you got back all the money they stole, and she and her two pals are in jail.
Woman with pretty face and evil heart always make trouble.
That's right. Next time you fall for a gal, son, be careful.
There isn't going to be any next time.
The last man I heard say that was happily married within 2 months. Come on, Tonto. Adios.
A masked man on the side of the law. I still don't get it.
I didn't understand it either, till the Indian told me.
You mean you know who he is?
Yes, Hutch. We've been face to face with a legend. He's the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
During his vacation from an eastern college, Dan Reid, teenage nephew of the Lone Ranger, was spending the summer with the masked man and his Indian companion, Tonto. One morning, Dan had ridden into the town of Red Rock to purchase supplies and was now on his way back to the Lone Ranger's camp in the nearby hills.
We get company.
I'll gun him down.
Hold it, Gus. He might not be alone. We don't want anyone getting a look at us.
Yeah. Yeah, and from where he is, he can't tell what we look like.
Barnett's finished. That's what's important. Let's get out of here. Shoulder.
Easy. Don't try to talk now.
Who are you?
I'm Dan Reid. I just like quiet.
They're coming back. Have you a gun?
They're friends of mine. You won't need a gun.
What happened, Dan? Tonto and I heard some shots.
This man's been wounded.
Me get something to make bandage.
He was hit in the shoulder.
You're masked.
Don't worry about the mask. I'm not an outlaw.
You see a man get shot?
Yes, Tonto. Two men were chasing him. One of their shots hit him. And then, well, I think they saw me. They rode away.
If them lawmen, them not right away.
They weren't lawmen, Injun.
And you know the men who shot you?
You bet I do, mister. One was Red Dixon, the other was Gus Gottwalls. An Indian named Tonto. And a masked man who rides a big white stallion.
A horse named Silver.
Then you're...
The Lone Ranger. Do you want to tell me why they shot you?
I sure do, mister. I'm Roy Barnett. I'm a Texas Ranger. I was assigned to find the Cardoza gang.
Yes, I've heard of Cardoza. He's clever as well as being dangerous. And to my knowledge, no one outside of his gang has ever seen his face.
Well, I know what he looks like.
That plenty good thing for law to know. How you find him?
I posed as a drifter and hung around the border cafes. Finally, I met one of his gang. I became friendly with him, and he took me to meet Cardoza.
That brave thing to do.
I thought after I found out where the hideout was, I could slip away and return with a posse. But Cardoza wasn't taking any chances with a new man. He had me watched day and night. They even took my gun away. Said I could have it back after I proved myself.
Two men who were chasing you. Are they Cardoza's men?
Yeah. The one of them, Red Dixon, showed up at the hideout this morning and recognized me as a Texas Ranger. I was lucky to get away at all.
Can you tell us how to get to Cardoza's hideout?
Sure. And I heard Cardoza's planning some kind of a job.
Cardoza runs true to form. Whatever he's planning will endanger the lives of many people.
Him never seemed to care how many people he killed.
If you're going to look for Cardoza, may I come with you?
I can show you the way.
No, Roy. In your condition, you'd be more of a hindrance than a help.
I guess you're right.
We'll take you back to our camp. Dan, Roy shouldn't be left alone. If we're delayed in returning to camp for any reason, it's up to you to see that Roy gets safely back to town.
I understand.
Good. After we've reached our camp, Roy, you can direct Tonto and me to Cardoza's hideout.
Tell me, why? Why is it that I, Juan Pedro Cardoza, must have such stupid fools working for him?
But it's like I said, we saw Barnett fall from the saddle.
But do you make sure that he is dead? No, you do not do that.
We didn't have a chance. We saw the somber and I figured others might have heard the shots.
Always when someone else do the thinking, there is trouble. First, it is you. You bring a spy, a snake among us. And then you perhaps let him live. Perhaps already he's telling someone where I, Juan Pedro Cardozo, am. Or what the face of Juan Pedro Cardozo is like. Pancho.
Si, senor.
Get my horse. We leave here at once.
Muy bien, senor.
You two will go back and find that snake Barnett. I want him dead. We will meet at the Old Man Tunnel.
There's where Barnett hit the ground.
Yeah, and he's gone. Red, do you think he's still alive?
How should I know? There's the tracks of 3 other horses here besides those of Barnett's.
I wonder who rode the other 2 horses.
Does it matter?
I guess not.
They took off in that direction.
What do we do?
What do you think we do? We follow the tracks. If we don't find Barnett, Cardozo's gonna be a lot madder than he was. Come on.
Directions, that should be Cardozo's hideout. It looks deserted.
Shortcut Roy tell us about get us here plenty fast.
Yes, Tonto. With Barnett getting away, Cardozo must have decided to move on.
Maybe we pick up trail, Kemo Sabe.
We can try.
Kemo Sabe. Look like 4 horses been tied here at picket line. 2 horses been here a long time. Their trail lead off to north. Other 2 horses been here a short time. Their trail go that way.
2 horses that were tied here a short time must belong to the men who shot Roy. Cardozo's horse must have been one of the other 2.
We follow trail that go to north, Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. Cardozo's the man we want.
Have a drink of water?
Sure.
What's wrong, Dan?
The 2 men who chased you, I'm sure they're coming up the trail.
We gotta get away.
No, you're in no condition to ride.
I can try.
No, Roy. Be better if you stay hidden. I'll let them see me, and I think they'll follow. Then I can lead them away from here.
But they may catch you.
On Victor, I'm sure I can outrun them. But I'll keep out of gun range.
You're taking a big risk.
I'll be careful. You better keep my gun just in case.
But Dan,
I'll hide your horse.
Oh, Victor. Oh. Good luck, Dan.
The hombre on the white horse.
I don't see Barnett.
But I bet he can tell us where to find him. Come on. We'll never be able to catch him while he's on that horse.
We gonna let him get away?
No. You keep on chasing him. There's a trail that leads over this ridge. I'm gonna take it and try to cut him off. Come on.
Trail go into water, Kemo Sabe, but not come out.
Sure Cardoza used the riverbed to cover up his trail so he couldn't be followed.
Cardoza plenty smart bandit.
Yes, he's clever and cautious, and he knows every outlaw trick. He and men like him are a constant menace to the development of the West.
Now, what we do now, Kemo Sabe?
We'll go back to where we left Dan and Roy. You ride into town and report what's happened to the local sheriff.
Hit the ground.
What's the...
I said hit the ground.
Say, he's not much more than a kid. Not even wearing a gun.
Where's the man you found on the trail a while ago?
What man?
Don't act so dumb. Where is he?
We want to know where Barnett is. That ought to loosen up your tongue. You gonna talk? You little whelp.
Hold it, Gus.
I ought to put a bullet in him.
Don't be a fool. You can't learn anything from a dead man. We'll take him to see Cardoza. Maybe after he's finished with him, he'll let you give the kid a lesson in fist fighting.
I'll make him sorry he was ever born. Get on your horse.
Feeling better, Roy?
I'll be all right.
Where's Dan? He must have seen us coming up the trail.
Well, Dan...
Something happened to him?
He saw the two men who gunned me coming up the trail. He said he was going to lead him away from here. I tried to stop him.
Those men have done anything to harm Dan,
We pick up trail, Kemo Sabe. We find them.
We'll be back, Roy. Come on, Tonto.
Senor Cardoza.
Okay. What is it that you disturbed the siesta, Juan Cardoza?
But the senores Reid and Gus, they come up the trail.
They come alone, no?
No, senor.
Bueno, then they find the pig, Barnett.
It is not the pig, Barnett, what they bring with them.
What?
I'm sorry, senor.
Oh, it is the gringos, Reid and Gus, who will be the sorry ones.
Pancho, take care of the horses.
Come on, boys. Come on.
Who is this that you bring here now?
This is the hombre that come along after we gunned down Barnett.
And you run from him? A boy, just a muchacho?
He may be young, but he's plenty tough. Ask Gus.
I ain't forgetting what the young whelp did. And the gringo Barnett, you find him? He is dead, no?
Well, we didn't find him, but this here kid knows where he's at.
You, where is the man they say you find on the trail?
What man?
He's playing dumb again. Let me beat it out of him.
He knows what happens to Barnett.
So the muchacho will not answer Juan Pedro Cardoza. I ask you once more, where is the snake Barnett? So the muchacho still will not speak. He's yours. Make him talk. I'll knock some of that spunk out of him.
Better be careful, Gus. Remember what happened back on the trail.
I'll make this young whelp feel sorry he was ever born.
Dan, stop here, Kemo Sabe. See tracks of two other horses.
Yes, Tonto. All the tracks lead off in that direction.
The rain come, Kemo Sabe, and wash tracks away.
We'll have to find Dan before the storm breaks.
Come on, you going to get up or not? Oh, so you haven't had enough. Oh!
Can't you find him, Gus?
I'll break his neck.
You must like it down there, Gus. You're there most of the time.
You do not make the muchacho talk. You let him make a fool out of you. And by making a fool out of you, he makes a fool out of me. Juan Pedro Cardoza does not let fools work for him too long. Hey, Red, looks like a storm is coming. Pancho!
Si, senor.
Tie up the muchacho and bring him into the tunnel. I question him there.
Muy bien.
Sound like shots come from across valley, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto. Come on.
Look, Kemo Sabe. Dan's horse Victor with other horses. You think them have Dan in tunnel?
There's a good chance of it, Tonto.
We go see now?
If Cardoza and his men are holding Dan in the mine tunnel, we'd be perfect targets for their bullets if we tried to rush them.
Them see us against light. We not see them in darkness. We wait till night. Them not see us then.
True. But it would be difficult to take Cardoza and his men by surprise. And in the darkness, if there is any shooting, Dan might get hit.
What we do then?
We've got to smoke them out into the open.
How we do that?
Many mines have two entrances, Tonto. The main tunnel and a second tunnel which can be used to escape by if there's a cave-in. If that mine has an escape tunnel, we have to find it.
If mine have second tunnel, Kemo Sabe, we find it.
We'll circle around the east slope of the mountain and begin our search there. Come on.
That stupid pig of a man, Goss. He hit him too hard on the head. Now even Juan Cardoza has to wait. But Cardoza will make him talk. And after I do it, his life as well as that of the spy Barnett, we will snuff out like one snuffs out a candle. While we wait, I tell you how we carry out tomorrow's raid.
Me hope this tunnel we look for, Kemo Sabe.
So do I, Tonto. I have a candle in my saddlebag. We'll need it to light our way inside the mine. Be careful, Tonto. The timbers shoring up this tunnel are old and rotten. Bumping against almost any one of them could cause a cave-in.
Now, me be careful.
We're going to rob the bank in Gainesville. It should cause us no trouble. And after we take all their money, we head back across the border. Hey, now here's what you do. Red, you will ride into town with me. And Pancho, you will come into town a few minutes later. We all meet in front of the bank. You understand, no? Seguro. Bueno. Pancho, you will stay outside the bank and watch. Red and I, Juan Cardoza, will collect the money. And we kill anyone who comes on the street to stop us.
See.
Tonto, there's Dan. And 3 men are with him in the tunnel.
Maybe we rush them, Kemo Sabe.
No, Tonto. There'd be gunplay with Dan in the line of fire.
That bad.
Tonto, there's a draft passing through the tunnel toward the main shaft. We'll follow our original plan and smoke the outlaws into the open. I don't like doing it with Dan in there, but...
Smoke not hurt Dan, Kemo Sabe. Only make his eyes water. Outlaws maybe kill him. Me get wood to make fire.
Good. I'll go back and gather some branches and leaves. That'll cause the fire to give off more smoke.
Be careful, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto.
What do we do with the kid?
First, he tells us where we find the gringo, Barnett. And then, we kill him.
Powder from these bullets will make a fast, hot fire.
We wet leaves, Kemo Sabe.
Yes, Tonto.
Wet leaves make fire smoke plenty. Smoke make outlaws leave tunnel plenty fast.
I hope so, Tonto. This candle should make a good fuse for the fire. All right, let's go. A lot depends on Silver and Scout now.
Will I get us there in time, Kemo Sabe?
We'll leave Silver and Scout here.
You will not tell Juan Cardoza where the gringo Barnett is.
If I did, you'd kill me anyway.
There are more unpleasant ways to die than from a bullet.
Let me give him a taste of my gun butt. That'll loosen his tongue.
Come on, it's on fire!
On fire? Mine cannot burn.
I'm getting out of here.
Hold it! Get your hands high. Don't make a sound. Tonto, get their guns and tie them up. Tonto, I'm going in after Dan.
Me see that these men not get away, Kemo Sabe.
You all right, Dan?
Sure, I'm all right. This is Cardoza.
Looks like you've taken all the fight out of him. Want to take your prisoner in, Dan?
You bet.
Senor Barnett.
What is it, Cardoza?
The senor who wears the mask. The one who teaches the little muchacho to fight like 7 demons. Who is he?
I didn't recognize him when I first saw him, but I should have. You see, the masked man is none other than the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Away!
With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early West. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. The Lone Ranger rides again.
A dead cow, Tonto. This water's been poisoned, Tonto.
Why someone do that, Kemo Sabe?
Well, I don't know. Water is vital to stock and men in this country. Whoever did this obviously wanted to cause trouble.
And this land part of's ranch. Me see fence line over there.
Yes, this is private property. We'd better look into this. We'll find out who owns this ranch and then have a talk with him.
Hello, Ferris. What are you doing here, Stacy?
Well, now, that isn't what I'd call Western hospitality.
Maybe I don't feel hospitable. What's your business?
Oh, just dropped by to see if you'd changed your mind about selling your ranch. Heard you laid off all your men.
You'll never get a hand on this piece of land, Stacy. How many times do I have to tell you that?
Well, a man can change his mind, and you've been having a lot of bad luck lately.
Mysterious fires and poisoned water holes? I don't call those things bad luck. Those are crimes, Stacy, committed by men.
I hope you don't think I'm responsible.
I certainly do. I think you're responsible for all the trouble I've had lately. You're trying to drive me off my ranch so you can buy it up cheap, the way you've done with others in this valley. You're greedy, Stacy, for money and power, and you'd trample on anybody or anything to get them. Well, you're not going to get away with it this time.
How's your wife?
Never mind. Give me that.
I understand the doctor's ordered another operation.
That's none of your business.
In a way it is, Ferris. You've been wanting to sell for a long time so you could go back east and join your wife. Well, this is your chance. Just accept my offer.
You've offered 1/10 of what my place is worth.
It's a fair offer, considering the spot you're in, and I advise you to take it or your luck is liable to get a lot worse.
Oh, what's so funny? You are thinking you're going to get away with this, but you're wasting your time, Stacy, and I'll tell you why. I've already sold this place to somebody else at a fair price.
I don't believe it.
Look at this.
This is just an offer to buy.
But it's binding on him for 30 days.
Who is this man?
He's a young Easterner. He's from a rich and important family, and this place is exactly what he wants. You'll never get it away from him.
Has he seen the place yet?
No, we negotiated by mail. As a matter of fact, he's arriving in town today. I've got to get down to the station to meet him right now. A couple of hours, this deal will be all closed, Stacy. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. So, goodbye.
Judd!
What's the idea?
Take him up to the shack in the hills.
Why, you're crazy, Stacy. What do you expect to accomplish by this?
Tie him up, Pete, and keep him there until you hear from me.
You have heard the instructions, senor. I hope you will not make trouble.
You're carrying this too far, Stacy.
Just do what you're told, Pete.
Oh,
what is it?
A horseshoe upside down. It is a bad luck.
Oh, you and your superstitions, Pete. Forget about them, will you?
One cannot forget such things, senor. They are most important.
All right, but get going.
Come on.
We've got a little problem, Judd. Ferris gave some Easterner an option to buy the place. He's arriving in town today. We've got to meet him.
Yeah, but he'll be expecting Ferris.
It doesn't matter. They've never met.
I'll pose as Ferris.
That'll make it easier to handle the situation.
What do you figure on doing with this Tenderfoot?
He wants to be a rancher? We'll try and discourage him. Give him a good scare. Send him back where he came from. Once we get rid of the Easterner, I can force Ferris to sell to me.
Well, what's the Easterner's name?
Charles Pettigrew DeWitt III. Shouldn't be too hard to change his mind.
Well, what's your plan, boss?
It's very simple. You know the buggy that's in my stable down near the railroad station.
Hurry it up, Judd. That train will be in any minute.
Almost finished, boss. If that cut trace doesn't scare the daylights out of him, this wheel will when it goes flying off.
Guess that must be DeWitt. He looks kind of rugged. Don't look like he'll discourage very easy.
He's still a tenderfoot. Look at the way he's dressed. Now, you know what to do. DeWitt?
Yes, Jim Ferris.
That's right. Welcome to Sweetgrass County.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Sorry I'm late. I had a little trouble on the way in from the ranch. Got chased by Indians.
Indians?
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't lose my scalp.
Well, this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Buggy's over here.
Hope you don't mind going out to the ranch by yourself. I've got to stay in town a while on business.
I don't mind at all, Mr. Ferris.
You think you can handle him alone?
I'm sure I can. I've driven a horse and buggy before.
Well, this horse is kind of skittish. Might give you a little trouble.
I've been around horses since I was a kid. I like a spirited animal.
Well, these western horses are kind of tricky.
I'm sure I can handle it. Now, how do I get to the ranch?
Well, take this road straight out of town to the left fork. Go about 2 miles until you come to a grove of pear trees. Yeah. Then turn right for about a half mile.
All right.
Yahoo! Ho, ho, ho!
Looks like Mr. DeWitt's headed back for Chicago.
Something's wrong.
Him in trouble, Kemo Sabe.
Yes. Come on.
Oh, boy!
Are you all right?
I think so.
Don't let this mask alarm you. It's on the side of the law.
You certainly don't talk like an outlaw.
I'm not. I assure you.
Whatever side you're on, I'm certainly grateful to you. I could have never stopped that horse alone.
You needn't worry. Tonto's a friend of mine.
Me watch you in buggy. You handle horse good.
Thanks. That's the kind of a compliment a tenderfoot likes to hear. I'm afraid the truth of the matter is I barely managed to hold my own.
Did you just arrive here in town?
Yes, just a short while ago.
What made you lose control of the horse?
The horse bolted when someone fired a gun. I pulled on the rein, but he didn't respond.
You lucky young man. Could have been killed.
It looks as though the trace has been cut.
Cut? I can't believe anyone would do that.
There's no need for that.
This man is my friend.
Men who wear masks are never friendly.
There are exceptions to the rule. I'm one of them.
Who are you?
I might ask you the same question.
This is Jim Ferris. He's the owner of the Diamond J. I have an option to buy his place. That's why I'm here. Look it over.
So you're the owner of the Diamond J. I've been wanting to talk to you.
What about?
About the trouble you've been having on your place. We saw a water hole on your ranch that had been poisoned. We heard you were having other difficulties, too. Any idea who's behind it?
You heard wrong, mister. I haven't been having any trouble. Well, DeWitt, I see you had an accident. Guess I shouldn't have let you use the buggy. It's old and run down.
The trace has been cut. Do you know that?
You're kind of nosy, aren't you, mister?
In anything that has to do with crime or injustice, I am.
I don't like nosy people. You still want to look over the ranch?
Of course, why not?
Oh, I thought the ride you just had might have discouraged you.
Not at all. I'm as enthusiastic as ever.
Well, in that case, I guess we better fix this wheel and get going.
Come on, Tonto.
Well, my name's DeWitt. Charles DeWitt. I hope I see you again.
Perhaps you will. Good luck, DeWitt.
Thanks.
DeWitt, all right. Him good man.
Yes, but I can't say the same for Ferris.
I mean, not like him.
One thing I don't understand, Tonto. Why he denied he'd been having trouble.
Him try to sell ranch. Maybe him not want DeWitt to know.
And that's possible. But on the other hand, the trace was deliberately cut. And I don't think that wheel coming off was an accident. It looks as though someone wants to harm DeWitt. Let's check up on this Mr. Ferris.
How we do that?
We'll try the local newspaper office. They should have the information we want. We'll take a back trail into town. Come on.
That's you, Johnny? I'll have this editorial ready for you in a minute. I sure lit into the outlaws today, Johnny. Guess I'm just about the bravest man in this county with a pen. Here you are.
And don't be alarmed, Mr. Barker. We're not outlaws.
Well, who are you?
Well, that isn't important, but my mission here might be.
What is it you're after?
Do you know a local rancher by the name of Ferris? Jim Ferris?
Sure. Know him well.
I'd like some information about him.
Well, what do you want to know?
For one thing, I'd like to know if he's been having trouble on this ranch.
What kind of trouble?
Kind a rancher shouldn't have. Trouble caused by another man.
Yeah, I guess there's no harm in admitting that. It's common knowledge anyway. Yes, he's been having a lot of trouble. Someone's trying to run him off his place.
Any idea who it is?
Well, Jim thinks it could be a man named Greg Stacy, but of course he can't prove that.
Who is Stacy? A local rancher?
Calls himself that. But if you ask me, that's like a polecat trying to pass himself off as a kitten.
I gather you don't think much of this Stacy.
No, I don't. He's greedy and unprincipled. Men like that can do as much harm to this country as the most vicious outlaw. But why don't you talk to Jim Ferris about this? He can give you more information than I can.
We did. He wasn't very communicative.
Him not friendly man.
Jim, why, he's usually as friendly as a pup.
He wasn't with us. As a matter of fact, he was rather surly.
That doesn't sound like Jim at all. He's like most big men, easygoing and peaceable. But of course, he's had a lot of trouble lately, and... What's the matter?
Did you say Ferris was a big man?
Well, I'd call him that. He's well over 6 feet.
Describe Ferris to me, will you please?
Oh, he's somewhere around 50, weighs about 200, has gray hair, and, Oh, wait a minute. I've got a picture of him here. Ran it a couple weeks ago in the paper. There.
You sure this is Jim Ferris?
Of course I'm sure. I've known him for over 20 years.
That clinches it, Tonto. The man we talked to is an imposter.
I don't get this.
We talked with a man a while ago who was posing as Ferris. But it wasn't Ferris at all.
What did this man look like?
Well, he was stocky built, mustache, dark. I'd say about 40 years of age.
That sounds like Greg Stacy.
Perhaps it is.
But why him pose as Ferris?
I don't know, Tonto. But we must find out.
Yeah, I think this is something for the sheriff to handle.
Wait. There's a chance Ferris may be held captive. But if you go to the sheriff now, he'll arrest Stacy, and we may never find Ferris alive.
What do you propose we do?
Give us a chance to locate Ferris before you go to the sheriff.
I've heard about a masked man, an Indian friend, who go around helping people who are in trouble. Could that be you?
Maybe.
I'll take a chance on you, mister. Do it your way.
Good. Adios.
Good luck.
There's the Diamond J Ranch House, Tonto. You'd better wait here while I see what I can find out. We don't want Stacy to see us if we can avoid it.
I don't understand this, Ferris. The figures you've just given me are quite different from the ones you sent me earlier. According to what you tell me now, the Diamond J won't support half the stock you said it would.
Well, maybe I exaggerated a little when I wrote you. You know how it is when a man is anxious to sell.
These figures don't support the price you're asking.
Well, that's a matter of business judgment. And of course, I can't force you to go through with the deal.
Maybe I won't. I want to study these figures again before I make up my mind.
Sure. Sure, study them all you like. I'll take care of the horses. Be back shortly.
Well, the masked man. I didn't expect to see you again so soon.
I'd like to talk to you, DeWitt, about something important.
What's wrong?
Suppose I told you this man you're dealing with is an imposter.
What?
I think his name is Stacy. And I think the real Ferris is either dead or being held captive.
But why?
It looks as though he wants this property and will stop at nothing to achieve his aim.
That would explain one thing.
Oh, what's that?
These conflicting figures. He's trying to discourage me from taking up the option.
Perhaps. But right now, the important thing is to find Ferris if he's still alive. And I think you can help us in that if you will.
I'd be glad to do anything I can.
Good. Now listen carefully. Tonto and I will be at the Grove of Trees. When Stacy leaves, you join us there. Now here's my plan.
How things go, Kemo Sabe?
Everything is all set. DeWitt will join us here just as soon as Stacy leaves. Then we'll get on with our plan.
Still at it.
Yep. Ferris, after studying these figures, I've come to the conclusion I'd be making a great mistake to take up the option.
Well, I'm mighty sorry to hear that. But I guess it's my fault for lying to you in the beginning. My conscience made me tell you the truth today.
I appreciate your honesty, but I'm sure you understand my position.
Oh, sure, sure. No hard feelings. We'll just forget about the whole thing.
Well, there is one qualification. I'll expect you to return my deposit.
Deposit?
Yes, the money I paid you when I took the option. Under the circumstances, I don't feel you have any right to retain it.
Well, suppose I mail it to you.
Why don't you give me a check now?
Well, I like to do business in cash. Let me see now, how much was it?
Oh, don't you remember?
Oh, sure, I remember, but I don't have that much on me. I'll have to ride into the bank and get it.
Well, I'll go along with you. I want to make a train reservation for tomorrow.
That's all right, I'll do it for you. You just sit down here and take it easy. You've had a hard day.
Well, that's very nice of you. Thank you. Everything's working fine. He's going to town to get the money, or so he says.
Him leave barn now. But him not head for town, him head for hills.
He's undoubtedly on his way to see Ferris and find out about that deposit.
We trail him, Kemo Sabe?
Yes, Tonto. Right to the hideout.
I'd like to go along.
No, I'd rather have you ride into town and see Ed Barker at the local newspaper office. Tell him to notify the sheriff. He'll understand.
And then bring him back here.
Yes, that'll give us time to locate Ferris.
I must say I never expected this kind of excitement.
You're a good man, DeWitt.
I'm afraid I'm lost. Can you show me the quickest way to town?
What's your hurry?
I have to deliver a message.
You act like you was in trouble.
No, but someone else maybe. That's why I'm in a hurry.
Well, who is it? Maybe I can help.
I don't think so. Just show me the way to town.
Wouldn't be Jim Ferris, would it?
How did you know that?
Just a guess. This road here takes you right into town.
Thanks.
The ace of spades. That is very bad luck.
Now, listen to me. How much longer are you planning to keep me here?
That is not for me to decide, senor. That is for the boss. Oh, the boss. He's coming now.
Everything all right?
See, but Senor Ferris wants to know how much longer he will remain our guest.
Not much longer, Ferris. Your tenderfoot friend has decided not to take up his option to buy your ranch after all. You'll soon be free to sell to me.
What have you done with DeWitt?
Nothing. Just persuaded him that the Diamond J wasn't such a good buy after all.
All right, Stacy, you win. I'll sell the ranch to you. I have no other choice. I have to raise money to care for my wife. Let's get it over with.
Now you're being sensible, Ferris.
Draw up the bill of sale and I'll sign it. Then turn me loose.
Well, there's just one item to be settled first. DeWitt wants his deposit money back. How much did he give you?
Deposit money? Well, he didn't give me anything.
You're lying. DeWitt told me he paid a deposit.
Not to me, he didn't.
Well, then why would he tell me?
I'll answer that question, Stacy. That deposit story was a trick. We wanted you to lead us to this cabin, and that's just what you did. Tom will get some rope and tie them up. Then we'll turn them over to the sheriff. Now put your guns on the table.
The horseshoe, the ace of spades. I knew it was bad luck.
Shut up, Pete. This is no time for that nonsense.
It is not nonsense, senor. I have told you that before.
He is smarter than you are, Stacy. At least he knows when his luck has run out. You all right, Ferris?
Yes, I'm all right. But who are you? What are you doing here?
A friend of yours, DeWitt's. We found out that Stacy was impersonating you and suspected you were being held captive.
Then DeWitt hasn't turned down the option on the Diamond J?
Not at all. Chances are he'll want to pick it up.
A minute ago, Ferris agreed to sell to me.
Agreements made under duress have no legal standing, Stacy. Now get going, you two.
All right, Mr. Holding. Drop those guns on the table. Put your hands up and move over against the wall. Move, I said! You too, Ferris.
Good work, Judd. But how did you know I was here?
I met the Tenderfoot on the way into town. The way he talked, I knew something was wrong. I took care of him, then headed for the cabin.
Well, you got here just in time.
Well, what do we do now, Chief?
We'll take care of these three and then clear out of here. Things are getting a little warm. But first, we've got some business with the masked man. Turn around, you. All of you. I warned you to keep your nose out of my business. Now you're gonna wish you'd followed that advice. Pull off his mask, Pete.
Let's see what he looks like.
I wouldn't do it if I were you, Pete.
Go on, Pete. I've got him covered.
I warn you, Pete. The last man who tried to take off this mask has had nothing but bad luck since.
Don't listen to him, Pete. He's playing on your superstitions. Take off that mask.
I wouldn't do it, Pete. You're asking for trouble. Like throwing a rock at a mirror.
For the last time, Pete, take off that mask.
Good work, DeWitt. I wasn't sure you'd get my signal.
I got your signal, all right. I just wasn't sure I could pitch a strike.
The masked man, he was right. I make a mistake when I do not listen.
You made your mistake a long time ago, Pete, when you decided to defy the law. That's the surest way in the world to bring bad luck.
I guess that's all there is to it. The masked man thought you were entitled to the rest of the story.
And you're the new owner of the Diamond J, huh?
That's right. The proud new owner. Jim Ferris is leaving today for the East to be with his wife.
Good. I know that's what Jim wanted.
Seems we all owe something to the masked man. You ever find out who he is?
Well, he never came right out and told me, but I've made what I think's a good guess. I'm sure he must be the Lone Ranger.
Be with the Lone Ranger and Tonto same time next week for new dangers in another thrill-packed adventure when the Lone Ranger rides again. The Lone Ranger.